and unmute us.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the overhead panel with all the knobs and switches and stuff.
Yes.
Left-hand side, there's the electric panel, and in the middle of it, you'll see a battery switch underneath a safety cover.
We're doing the before starting engine checklist?
Yeah, but I have a custom one, so we're not going to do whatever that says. I make my own for all these things that I know work. So if you lift the battery cover and turn on the battery, let's see if we can do that.
Oh shit, my camera's all messed up.
Control 8 will give you I think it's one of the default views.
Okay, so Control 8. Battery. Okay.
Did you turn it on? Yes, you did.
Yep.
Okay. And external power 1 and 2, both of them say avail. Let's turn both of those on.
Turn 1, 2.
Nice. And then switch the standby power and dial to auto.
Hold on. Control 8. Come on. So I can see what I'm doing. Oh, I gotta move my list out of the way. Can't see. Okay, auto.
Okay. We now have battery. I will go ahead and turn on our motherfucker beacon and nav lights. You should have seen those switches turn, hopefully. The lights are in the upper panel, but in the bottom right.
Yes, they're on.
Okay.
Strobe on. Wait, strobe says.
No, I just did beacon and nav.
I see it all.
Yeah. In the top left again, there is the IRS panel. There's 3 knobs. I'm going to move them, but you should be able to see them move. Left to nav, right to nav, and the center to nav. This is to align the GPS stuff.
Okay.
And back to you, the APU switch, the knob. Yeah, the selector. Switch it to on and then to start.
And then hit it again?
Yep. Okay. That's now spooling up. I'll let you know when that is when it's available. Actually, well, it will say at some point. The APU Gen 1 and Gen 2 switches next to the external power ones, at some point they will say avail when the APU is running. Once they say avail, we're going to turn them on, which will basically switch us off the switch. Yeah, it'll say on the switch, and it will basically take us off the external power and switch us over to our APU power, which means we have independent power.
Click them?
Yep. Very nice. And finally, we can turn on window heat, which is the center panel near the bottom. It looks like 4 switches, but I think you click 1 and it turns them all on. There you go.
Yeah, got it.
That is our preparation complete. Now we're going to turn our attention to the MCDU for our flight plan.
Did I complete this whole checklist then on my end, or just leave it?
Just close it.
Oh, okay, fine. You know, I'm gonna have to get like a copy of this so I can look through it. Because I'm using it, and I'm using the find feature when you're telling me to find stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, just ignore the checklist. I'll just walk you through it. I'll be your checklist.
That works.
Okay, so the MCDU is the one with the keyboard in the center pedestal between the seats.
Okay.
And I don't know if the screens are going to be synced up. So right now you should be seeing a menu screen. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go into the salty option. Does it change for you? Did the screen change?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So if I go to the SimBrief thing, do you see a SimBrief ID?
I do.
Okay, awesome. That means that I can walk us through this. So we're going to go through our initial reference index. We are going to specify, we're telling the airplane where we are. I'm going to move the speed brake back just because it's always in the way in this aircraft. So we are at RKSI. We're at gate 25. You see the screen updating when I do that?
Yeah, I do. There's no lag either. It's just like I can
Nice.
hear your mouse clicks when and it like it's in sync.
Sweet. So we've told it where we are. We've initialized the GPS position. Now we're going to load our route, and this is where it is frozen on me before. What it's doing now is it's going to go out to SimBrief and route 1 uplink ready. Hopefully it's going to load this in without crashing the game. We have to be like very patient here. It does stuff in the background, and I've noticed in the past that if we click anything else while it's doing this, it will just freeze and die. I'm really hoping it will say us. It should say something on the screen. I'm worried.
It says
Okay, there we go.
Sending. Unable to send message.
That's what it says for you?
I don't think it's updated on my end.
What does your origin and destination, are those filled in the flight number?
No, they're blank. They're blank squares.
I wonder if you have to click request send. Can you click request send and not...
The request sending?
Yes.
Click that.
Does the bottom line of the screen say anything for you?
Unable to send message.
When you move your mouse over the buttons on the side, do they change from the pointer to the finger?
Yeah.
Okay, so it hasn't frozen. That's good. Let's just ignore that and see what happens if I continue here. I just went to the perf init.
Okay, I'm seeing stuff.
I'm gonna hit accept. The airplane should shake there for a moment. Did it like move for you?
I didn't notice anything. I'm also zoomed in really far too.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We're gonna have a... Yes, I know that's invalid. Clear. Flaps 20 takeoff. Do you see the V speeds? V1, 152, VR, 170.
They don't match up with yours.
What do yours say?
124, 140, 157.
Okay. Well, that's probably not as important.
You don't sound very sure.
Well, I mean, it is important, but it's more important that we have the same flight plan in it. I think we'll probably just have me have controls of the actual flight so that we don't go back and forth, but that's okay. Legs page.
Okay.
I have Egoba, Lanet.
I have no legs.
You have no legs. Okay, so you have no flight plan.
Nope.
And yours set unable to send?
Unable to send. Yeah.
Unable to send message is what yours said, yeah?
Yeah, I have no origin, destination, or anything like that.
Okay, so on this Route 1 page, third button on the left, request send. So first of all, does it still say unable to send message at the bottom?
No, it looks like yours right now, except I don't have anything on the top where like destination and
Okay.
origin.
So let's try having you click
I
request.
also don't have a flight number either.
Right. So click request send.
Unable
Okay.
to send message.
Interesting. So it actually did it for me, but not on your side. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because we confirmed that the SimBrief number is entered. I wonder if it's not actually entered on your end. Let's try something. Let me go back to SimBrief. Let me just re-enter it. Maybe that will save it on your side.
Let me look at your sim brief.
Actually,
yeah, I don't have anything on my sim brief. No ID.
oh, but I thought it did have it earlier.
It did, but now it doesn't.
Okay,
So do I need
so
to type it in?
yeah, enter in 360140.
360140.
And then click the top left switch next to it.
The one that is options.
No, the very top left, where it's next to SimBrief ID. That should fill that number into that field.
Okay, it's there now.
Okay, so now let's try to do this.
And then put me to RT1.
Yeah, so hit request send.
Hey!
Now it's
There you
ready?
go. Yep, Route 1 uplink ready, RKSI, RJTT. KAL551. Cool. Perfect.
Okay, so if I...
in there.
Yeah, I'm going to take us just through this again.
124, 140, 157.
Let me see if I can get those synced up.
Whatever you do, it deleted something.
What is
It was
V1?
like V1's 152.
Okay, good. So it is updating them. So it should be 152, 170, 182.
Yep.
And execute. All right, if I go to legs, you have entries now?
Negative. No legs.
What?
No legs.
Is your exec button, like, does it have a green light over it?
Not anymore.
Okay, click request send again. I'm going to make you do these steps. I wonder if we maybe both have to do them.
Okay, cross send.
Okay.
Uplink 1 ready.
Click on... Does exec have a green light now?
No, it's blacked
Oh,
out.
click the load button.
Okay, load.
And we wait. Just wait. I forgot about that step. Perf init uplink?
Send it again?
No. Do you see perf init uplink in the bottom now?
I just see perf in it.
Okay, we'll just wait. So at the bottom, what's called the scratch pad, which is like where you enter, the bottom line is blank right now for you?
Nope, yeah, it just populated. Perf
Okay.
in it uplink.
Cool. Now does exec have a green light?
Nope.
You got legs?
I have leg. Yeah, I do have legs.
Okay, good. Then we're good now. So you have Egoba, Lanet, YME, Okagi, KCC. I don't even know what the fuck X is in AirPilot.
XIC.
Yeah, but what is
X-ray.
X-ray? Right. I always forget that because
Phonetic,
it's not
right?
really.
Phonetic
Yeah.
alphabet.
So okay, so we have that. Now we just want to put in our departure here. We are departing runway 15 right with the Ego Bravo 1 Charlie departure.
I can
Execute.
see it updated. Yeah, my execute button's not changing at all, so as
That's
long as it's
fine.
doing it for you.
Does your legs page now start with like Charlie Golf stuff or no?
Like off 050.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
100-101-100-099.
Yeah. So in the meantime, if you look back up on the main display, the nav display, which is the second screen, does it change modes when I do this?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. You should see lines.
Ew.
That's our flight plan.
This is cool. Why didn't we do this from the beginning? Why'd you make me fly a plane by myself?
Because it was really shit in the beginning. Okay, so our flight plan looks good. So we're all configured now for this.
Cool.
Now, here's a question. Can we take a 5-minute break? I need to get a coffee and run downstairs real quick.
Fine.
Don't touch anything. I'm just going to
Nope.
mute this.
I'm gonna make my yoke disappear, and that's all I'm gonna do.
We'll be right back. Stream back. So, at this point, well, we probably actually before this we would have talked to ATC to get our clearance, but we don't need to. So, I'm going to set our squawk code and transponder. Just set our altimeter. I don't know if you noticed anything change there.
Did you set it for 10,000?
No, I just did the, like I changed the, do you see this changing? I set the altimeter to the local, which is 29.83.
Where are you looking at this?
So it's in the PFD, so the left screen, the one with the flight controls in it.
What'd you change it to?
See, it says 29.83 inches.
Yep.
So, next I'm going to turn on the flight director, which hopefully you now see magenta lines in the flight display, and FD above that, and then toga.
Yep.
Okay. Bank limit I'm going to set to auto. Autopilot, let's see, do we have any speed restrictions on this departure? No, in fact it's 5,000 initially, then 10,000, then 11,000. So I'm going to change our altitude from 10,000 down to 5,000. Did you see that change in the, like, the autopilot display?
In the top right?
Yeah, like in the center console there at the top. Oh yeah, or that. Yes, you, in magenta.
Yeah,
on the,
I see both.
Yeah. Seatbelt signs on. You hear the little chime.
Ooh, where's that button at?
For the seatbelts.
Yeah, where's that button?
It is. I believe it's on the. Yeah, it's in the pedestal in the very back. The pedestal being the center console. The very back, left-hand side, there's a seatbelts off, auto, on.
Hold on. Where's that sucker at? I can't find it.
Like it's in the center panel. But like the console, like if it was a car, it would be like your center console.
All right, I'm looking at it.
And then it's in the very back. It might be hard to see from the pilot's seat. No, it's right beside you. It's like a gray knob. There's two of them right beside each other. One is to lock the front flight deck door. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. So.
I'm helping.
Okay.
Oh, no, this is the chime. This is the button I wanted, right? Oh,
yeah, that one doesn't work.
Come
I know.
on.
I know. The only way to get the chime is to actually do
That's the button. Damn it.
It's the one you want. I understand. Okay. At this point, we're ready for pushback and engine start. So I'm going to. I have an app for pushback.
Go ahead, flight deck. We will be ready shortly. Roger.
So we're going to get them to push us back.
Cockpit to ground.
Go
ahead, flight deck.
Nuts.
We are ready for pushback and engine
What's
start.
going nuts?
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
The manual compass
Really?
in the middle and the top. It's like it's having a seizure.
Oh, that's weird.
It's okay. I'm sure it's nothing. Solar flares. I don't know. Something weird. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Can you release the parking brake?
Sure. It says pull, right?
Parking brakes released.
Yep.
Pushing back.
I did not look into which way we want to push back, but I'm going to assume that there's really only... Shit. Okay.
I don't think we're in the right... We should have went to a large gate. I don't think this
There
plane
are
is
no
meant for
larger
this
gates. There are no larger ones here. There are large parking ramps, but...
See, I say false. I flew on a 7.4 out of Incheon.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
We'll start our engines when we've actually backed up here properly, because I don't remember how to start them.
On a Sobo, get on it.
I assume we're moving on your screen, right?
Yeah, we're backing up.
Okay, good. So this looks about good.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
You set parking brake, please.
Set parking brake?
Yes.
Parking brake set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the right-hand side with the pin.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Pushback is all done. Now, let's get the engine started. I will turn on the fuel pumps. Yeah, okay. They're all on. See, that should have changed. That should have... Yeah, okay, so starter 4 is on. And I'll just start this engine. Let's see if I can get this started. I can hear it, but...
He's creeping.
If you look on the center display, the ECAM, so the upper ECAM, the upper center screen, you should see the right engine spooling up.
Oh yeah, we're at 300.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do the same for the third engine. Okay. You can actually see on the lower ECAM now how there's a green line now between engines 3 and 4 for the fuel.
Yep.
Hey, Sean. Things are going as planned, actually. Yeah, they are so far. So far, so good. Had a little bit of a struggle getting the flight plan loaded on both. That seems to be a thing that we both need to do separately, which kind of makes sense because we push a button and it does stuff behind the scenes. So we both did that, but we both have the same flight plan in now. Colin was able to do basically all the preparation and before start checklist. I'm just starting the engines now. Do engine 2.
Good stuff. Where's the landing gear button?
That's next to the ECAM in the middle.
Oh, okay. I'm calling dibs.
On the landing gear? Yeah, sure.
It gives me something to do. It's not entirely important, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah, I'll probably have you do that and the flaps and stuff. Because I'll be holding on to the yoke, so... Okay, and Engine 1. Get you going.
I love the 747.
Yeah, I agree, Colin. I agree, Sean. Colin should have everything prepped for me. But I'm the only one with the actual checklist.
Yeah.
So,
You didn't send me the checklist.
no, I didn't. And I don't have the right 747. I should actually put the right covers on my dials here. I haven't painted them yet, though. That's the only problem. Gonna paint these. I don't know how useful this is going to be.
I'm like co-pilot in training. My pilot's wings are those little plastic ones that you get in your Happy Meal.
Yeah. But this is what you wanted to do initially, right? Like, just sit in the cockpit and see the same things, though, and push buttons. Like
Yeah,
this is
that's
actually
exactly
kind of
what I
cool.
want.
Even if you just
Low
want to go for a
stress.
ride, it's still good. I want to get this kind of stuff shared, especially when you do like real VATSIM, like real ATC stuff. That gets a lot more complicated. It would be nice to have sort of to share the responsibility.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of work to do to get your real wings, says Sean. Okay.
That's why they're plastic.
Engines are started. We're just going to do our before taxi checklist. So I'll make you do these things. We need to turn on the engine bleed, which is true. It's in the upper. In the upper panel, on the right side, just above the lights on the bottom right, there are 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, that all say off at the moment. The engine bleed buttons. Can you please turn all 4 of those on?
Yep. 4 on.
You did 4? I only see 1 and 2 for some reason.
I did 4. They're all on mine.
What about 3 now? Are they still all on?
Yeah, on mine they are.
Okay. I wonder if you clicked them too fast for it to not keep up with it.
Oh.
That's the only thing I can think of, because I saw 1, 2 happen and then not 3 and 4. But it might also be a bug in the thing where it doesn't know. Taxi lights on. So taxi lights and runway turn off lights on, please.
Taxi lights on. Runway turn off lights on.
Okay. Anti-ice, I don't think we need. Auto brake to RTO. Now the auto brake is next to the ECAM where the gear up switch is. Just below that, it's a knob you can dial to the left to the RTO setting. Other way.
Nope. Go the other way.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, back at the top, you can turn off the APU generators and switch the APU to off.
So APU gens turn off.
Mm-hmm. And then the APU switch to off.
Okay.
It's
Or
weird.
close the button guard on the battery.
Oh, yes, please. Okay. Ground spoilers arm. I will do that because it's a really awkward way to do it. Or not. Yeah, well, we'll call that fine. Flaps 20, please. Okay. We are now ready to taxi. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make you taxi because I have the chart.
But I can't fly.
No, you're not, you're not flying. You're driving.
I don't. How do I steer? I have a keyboard and mouse.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you'd know that. Okay, I can taxi, I guess. We're going to runway 15 right. So we have to taxi quite a ways. You want me to taxi then?
Yeah, because I don't know keyboard and mouse.
Okay. Let me just check the.
I can push buttons. That's what I can do.
Okay, fair enough. Release parking brake, please.
Parking brake released.
So we're gonna go taxi out ahead and take the. Give it a little bit of engine power. There we go. This is a big airplane that takes time to move, apparently.
She's a big girl.
Yep. I'm also going to turn on terrain. Seems to have not done anything. We don't really need weather. Terrain, I guess. We're slowly moving. So we're going to taxi out there, and it's actually a pretty simple taxi. Over there, and then we're going to turn to the right.
Gotta grab some peanuts. Yeah, this is definitely Incheon.
Looks pretty cool.
It's a cool airport. It's a very big airport. Pretty sure the terminal that we usually left out of is the one. I think it's the one in front of us. I think that's the international.
Yeah, I mean, I just picked the gate. I don't even know. I guess that's one thing I should at some point look up is what actual gates are. If it moves too slow, Colin could get out and push because that will make him feel useful.
I mean, I could. I'm used to being on the ground next to the AP with the engines.
We're going to taxi to the right here along Romeo 8.
Now, you give me a military cargo aircraft, I got you. I got you.
This thing's got a lot, pretty big wingspan.
Ooh. Oh, we should have flew out of Osan. That would have been fun. That would have brought back so many memories.
Then we're going to taxi up via, I think, Alpha 8? Second left. Not this first one. This is Romeo 1. This one. Do I want this first one or the second one? I feel like I want the second one. We can take the first one too. Take the first one. Call sign is Korean 551 Heavy. Definitely flying the big boy here.
She's a big girl. Queen of the sky.
Before takeoff, there's not much left to do. One thing you could try and find on the back pedestal on the right-hand side, there is a knob for the transponder or the TCAS. That should get set to TA/RA.
The back pedestal. Where is this at?
So like between the seats in the back right.
This big open panel?
No, it's just above that. It's above the 7,000
Oh, I see it.
or below the
TCAS.
7,000. Yeah, TCAS. So we want
What do you need
TARA.
now?
Tara.
TARA, got it. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, the rest we will do there, which will just be lights and then arming the auto throttle. I've never taken off in this airplane, by the way. So, you know.
I've only been a passenger on one.
I've watched some videos. I have a general idea of how this should work. I'm going to switch the mode back to this mode. And let's give ourselves a little bit more range. I know for our departure we're going to go to 5,000 and then 10,000. Those will be our sort of step climbs. And then after that we'll go up to our cruising altitude, which I don't recall what it is. Let me check SimBrief real quick. Flight level 390. I always open up the wrong app.
5 or 10, isn't it?
Sorry?
Our cruise?
390.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to take off, and I think we can, once we engage the autopilot, we should be able to engage LNAV, and I think VNAV works in this airplane. We'll see. If not, we'll have to use like flight level change or something to get ourselves to our desired altitude. Either way, it's pretty easy. Okay, so we'll be on the lookout here for our next turnoff, which is A19, and then our runway is just over there. It looks like winds are pretty calm.
That's good. Tokyo bound.
I gotta show this video to my friend, who's, you might remember Hequan, Chalk 2. He's from Seoul, Korea, so he actually asked me if I'd flown out here yet, and I hadn't yet. So I was like, when you suggested that, I was like, yeah, that's perfect actually. That is going to be really good. Okay, here's our runway. Taxi lights and nose wheel lights off, please. Landing lights and strobe on, please.
That is on the...
It's all on the upper.
It's on the top, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you need which ones again?
Taxi and runway lights off, and then landing lights and strobes on.
Okay. I think I got them.
It's good.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Flaps are set to 20. Spoilers are armed. Auto brake is set. Before takeoff checklists are complete, I'm going to just arm the auto throttle. That's done. Okay, we are lined up.
Inform the passengers.
Yep. Cabin crew ready for takeoff. Alright, I'm going to... That is a weird flight plan that sees us going all kinds of wonky little lines, but alright. Don't think we're going to be making that very first turn there. That's bizarre. What does our legs page actually say? CG050. Okay, good. That's all good then. Alright. I think I can actually turn this on here now. Let me see if I can turn on LNAV and VNAV. So that's all set. Heading, can I sync it? There we go, 147 is our runway heading, or close enough anyway. You all set to go there?
Send it.
Alright, let's get the engines up to about 50% stabilizing. Okay, and full throttle, off the brakes. Our rotate speed is 170, I think. V1 is 152. And then just be ready on the gear and the flaps when I tell you. It'll be
Yep.
gear first, flaps after that.
What are you gonna want flaps at?
Just one notch up at a time, I think. I'll tell you.
Oh, to 25 or
Well, the other way. They're on 20
Oh,
right now,
down.
so yeah. We're not really centered on the runway here. Whatever.
be all right.
V1 and rotate. Positive climb, gear up.
Okay.
And you can go to flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Auto throttle's already taken over. That's good. I think that's good anyway. Is the autopilot on? Is it though? I feel like it
Need to
is.
bring the flaps along.
No, the auto throttle does this weird thing where it just does. I've noticed this before too. When it's turned on, it wants to pull back. I don't know why. It's very weird. I don't know if that's because of the VNAV or what. Either way, at this point, I'm playing it manually. You can go flaps 5.
It won't. Come on. There we go. Flaps 5.
Okay. Still hand flying because the auto. I don't trust the autopilot right now. Change our altitude to 10,000. I can go flaps up all the way. Thank you.
0, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Still hand flying because for some reason the auto throttle just puts the engines at see, it just throttles them way back. Is it
That's
way
so
back or
weird.
is it to there? Because there would be fine. If it stays there, that's fine. Like, it slows them down and then fires them back up. Okay. Alright. I think we're good. I'm slowly letting go of the yoke. I don't know why it's pulling us down like that. I just need to give this a second to actually... The autopilot's not engaged. And once again, it has throttled the engines way down. Let's see if it's going to catch itself. I think it's because it actually wants us to climb at a slower speed.
Oh, that might be it.
Like, we're currently speeding a lot. So we're on course now. I'm hands off at the moment. It is set to... okay, that's good. I think it's got it now. We're on thrust reference, LNAV, VNAV speed. We're going to stay at 10,000 until we reach Egoba, and then we'll climb up to flight level 390. Sean's proud of you.
I haven't done anything.
You managed the flaps and the gear, but that was good because I had both hands on the yoke at that time. This is a heavy aircraft, and I was just trying to get it like to fly properly. Ouch. After takeoff checklist: landing gear retracted, ground spoilers disarmed, landing lights as required, altimeter as required, passenger signs. Well, good. Seatbelt signs are still on, right?
Yeah.
Once we get to 10,000, we can turn the seatbelt signs off.
Cool, something to do.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do now at this point until we.
This is
Let's get the weather radar on. There we go. That looks cool. Did that update for you on the screens?
Yep.
Nice. So we are about to level out at 10,000 feet. Course. I don't know. Does my rookie co-pilot have a death grip on the poop handle? Do you, Colin?
Always.
Always. It's a little bit
Even when
tricky
flying
with
as a
these.
passenger.
Yeah. All right, so 10,000. Let's get the landing lights off, please.
On it.
And we can also turn the seatbelt signs off. The one thing I keep hearing from actual commercial airline pilots is that people want to go to the bathroom constantly. Even like 10 minutes after takeoff.
Where are the landing lights? I think they're already off.
Center, upper panel. Yeah, they are off.
Huh. Cool.
It's all good. Lights are never going to crash us. And I'm going to set standard altimeter.
You want me to hit the seatbelt?
Yeah, you can hit the seatbelt. I know you love doing that. There you go. You're not free to move around the
use
camera.
your iPad.
That's right. Now we're speeding up because we're over 10,000, so it's speeding up to our cruise altitude. Cruise speed, rather. This thing goes pretty fast.
Do you hear that whining noise?
I hear the engines because the turbines are spinning up to speed up.
Sounds weird. You heard this weird little... Not an alarm, just like a wind noise.
Hmm. If I hear that... Agaba below 11,000. Yeah, we'll just stay at 10,000 here until we hit that waypoint, and then we'll climb.
How much higher are we going to go up?
39,000.
Oh yeah, we're in a 7.4. Duh.
Well, and pretty much everything flies at that altitude. That's not a... Some of the small business class jets fly even higher, to be honest. Like when I fly the CJ4, I'm usually above 40,000. Because those little jets actually fly higher than the airliners most of the time. I'm not sure why. And I don't know what the autopilot's doing right now here. This seems like an Asobo special. Where we get this
doing it.
Waving our wings. I think it wants to slow down. Oh, it's because we dropped below. Okay, you know what? We're not going to play this game. Whenever we teeter around 10,000, I think he gets confused because it's like, oh, we're below 10,000. I got to slow down to 250. It's like, oh, we're above. I can speed up. Oh, we're below.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's right on the... Because there's always a 250 knot speed limit below 10,000.
Get ready for that hard bank that we're about to do right.
Yep.
Oh, Seoul, I miss you. You're such a fun city.
engines are so quiet, it always makes me worried. It sounds like, are the engines off? What's the throttle doing? But it's actually just like, it doesn't need that much power to stay at this speed.
I don't know. 7.4 generates ridiculous amount of lift
Yeah.
for low engine usage. But I mean, they are powerful engines.
My screen just went black. Oh, it's back.
Okay, don't. No. No. No.
Don't know what that's about. It's fine.
I'm really holding on to
That's
that
what you.
handle now.
Yeah, yeah. When your the pilot goes like, I couldn't see anything for a moment. Just went blind there for a minute.
What they call that? The G-lock.
All right, we're going to go up to 39,000 now. Flight level 390. That will be our cruising altitude.
Pilot took too many G's. He blacked out.
And you can kind of see that that green banana on the navigation display. That's sort of when we're about to hit that altitude, roughly. So it looks like it will be at
Oh, I
around
see.
60
That's what that
miles. Yeah, that gives you an indicator. It's super useful when you're descending because you'll have an idea of where you want to be at what waypoint, and when this tells you, that's very helpful. And that's, so basically everything that you see on that display, more or less, was behind the scenes. What's happening is that code from the working title team, the good autopilot. So it's much better than the standard stuff that's built in. I don't really care about anything else in the airplane. Everything else is basically stock, but like the flight management system, like that's important.
It makes me really happy that Microsoft onboarded those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, because they're working on rehashing all the FMS stuff on all the stock planes so that they'll just be part of the simulator, you know.
Is there a Geiger counter in here?
For radiation?
Something is clicking. It sounds like a Geiger counter.
I wonder what that is for you. I don't hear anything clicking. It sounds like a
Tripping me out.
switch keeps moving on your end.
Yep, it's the HDG.
The heading bug? The heading switch?
Yeah, the heading switch was like going nuts.
Has it stopped now?
Nope, it's moving again.
What about now?
I'm still having a seizure.
That's weird. I
What's
did
your
hit
heading
it.
say?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, mine does. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend it's a Geiger counter.
If you're very careful, you can... Well, that's the... There is no heading knob. You're talking about the
Right
auto...
in dead-
yeah, okay.
Dead in the middle. Center.
Yeah. I mean, you can adjust it
just
if you're
flickering.
very careful. See if that will make it stop.
No, I'll just leave it. It's not bothering me too much. But now I know what it is. It's not something.
And I think I know what caused that too. Is I have a little shortcut on my physical buttons where I press that and it will sync it to the current heading we're flying. And I think that must have freaked out yours somehow.
That's okay. I'll just leave it alone.
All right. I suspect the fix will be is if you turn it yourself, it will stop moving. We're not using the heading mode right now, so as long as you don't like press it, you can turn it all you want.
No, I didn't do anything.
No?
I clicked it once to turn
Okay.
it. I'll just
Well,
leave it.
all right.
It's basically like it's shaking rapidly, but it's constantly rotating.
Yeah.
It's fine. There's a bunch of weird noises on my end, so I'm sure it's okay. Game looks so much better than mine.
Let's grab some nice screenshots. I want to walk into the cabin in the back for a moment and just look out the window. I feel like are our flaps? Oh, they're good. All right, I guess they just look like that. At least the weather is nice. Like, we're in between these cloud layers. We should push through the thin cloud layer above us at some point. It's climbing very slowly. I think it's because of this thing. There's probably what I should be doing is I should be slowing the speed down to climb faster. Like, we should be climbing faster than this. Enable speed intervention. I don't want to really slow down. I just want you to climb faster. Level change. Let's try that. Takes a while. Like, every time I make a change to the autopilot, it takes it a while. Like, it basically just stops thinking altogether. It's not very good at changing thoughts from A to B. It has to, like, completely stop and reevaluate its life. and then it does it. Okay.
Well, whatever you did, it fixed my ghost switch.
Oh, good. So we are now climbing in flight level change, which basically means I've told it climb at 300 knots, please. Which means it's going to climb a bit faster than before, because it was basically trying to climb at full speed, which, you know, that's not going to take us there very quickly.
Yeah, now I have this ominous wind howling noise, which is fine.
Yeah, I have that too. Because our... Let's see, what is the climb speed for this aircraft? It is, well, 340, really.
300 is fine. We're moving. We're going up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So on my second monitor, that's weather or is that terrain?
That's weather. Terrain, I just switched it to terrain, but there's nothing here because it only shows relative terrain, and we're not near any terrain. So it's not like the King Air or some of those other ones. They show synthetic terrain where you always see it. On this one, you only see it when it's close, which is kind of. At first, I thought, like, man, that's so boring. It looks ugly. It's just a black screen. But once you start flying some of these a bit more, you start to value the lack of information. Like, I'm at 25,000 feet. Like, don't show me terrain that's not anywhere near me. I don't care. Like, it's good not to have it, you know?
Yeah. I wonder what when they were designing this aircraft, why they went with brown.
I don't know.
I was just wondering.
Yeah. That is a bit of an odd choice.
I mean,
brown and beige.
The plane is from the 70s, I think.
Not this one. This one is a bit more modern, I think. I mean, this is the last one in the line of 747s. I mean, the 747s are, of course, iconic.
Well, this is the 800 model, isn't it?
The 8i. 8 Intercontinental. Is the wide body airliner, what was it? Maiden flight 2010 as a freighter. So it's pretty new.
There's
The 8i Intercontinental followed suit on March 20th, 2011. So it's only 10 years old.
There's one 747 variant. I want to say it's the 800 series. There's only like 3 of them in the world.
Oh, could be.
Or something like that. There's only a couple. We got one of them that landed in Osan while we were there. And that sucker, like, it was a 7.4, but you could tell it was a bit bigger. It was thicker.
Yeah, this one's...
when you're like walking into the cargo bay and everything, it's so weird. Like, it looks bigger, and you know it's bigger, but when you're walking around it, it doesn't really feel bigger, except maybe I have like a little bit of extra room.
I gotta say that Sean is severely slacking because he did not tell me that the flight stats on my stream were not updating. There we go. That's like his one job.
Lights. That's where you open that.
Well, on my stream at the top of the screen. And usually I forget, because I have to usually refresh them to get them to show up. And I usually forget that. And usually Sean points that out to me, and I always miss it when he's not around. Man, from the outside the airplane looks... I think we're climbing actually pretty steep. Let me change the speed to what it should be. We should be climbing at 340. Now it's going to go through some ups and downs to try to make up the speed. We are the coast of Korea.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
just off the left there.
We're about to leave mainland Korea, South Korea. Like we're still above land at the moment, but not for much longer. Yeah, see, it can't do two things at once, so now it's sped up to 340, and it should start climbing again here.
Oh, the ghost switch is back.
Really?
Eh, it's okay. I think when it levels out, it'll probably fix itself.
Huh. So strange.
Eh, it's okay. I'm just gonna pretend it's like Morse code or something.
I would just pretend that like there's this button loose. We'll have to tell maintenance about that when we land in Japan. Yeah, and just put that on the log book, log entry after. All right, we're back to climbing at a faster speed now. That's good. We're going through some clouds. I wonder if well, these are very mild clouds. I don't think we need to worry about icing.
Yeah, nothing was more terrifying than when we were flying over the Mediterranean and I was icing up. Couldn't see and my plane stuck me in a nosedive. I was like, whoa.
The early days of the simulator, it has gotten so much better since then, but yeah, it was a struggle. Especially if you didn't quite know exactly what you were doing.
I was in a nosedive for a good 2 minutes.
But you survived.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Pull back on the stick.
Oh, we do have icing showing up. Let me see. Oh, that was a speed brake. Did I assign this? There we go. I turned on the anti-ice on the engines and stuff. It's actually cool. This thing detects that as an automatic thing and throws up a warning in the ECAM. Oh, but we're out of clouds now, so we probably don't need that anymore.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Pretty. I like the Korean Air color scheme.
Yeah, it's nice actually.
I like that cyan, teal, or whatever.
It looks very, I don't know, it looks very 80s for some reason. Like just the bright colors, you know, that I feel like that's not a thing so much anymore these days. It's nice that the weather up here is so clear. It's nice being above the clouds, above the weather.
It really is. This is a mod, huh?
Well, just the underlying flight mechanics, right?
Oh, but the plane itself is,
The plane is all, like, the model is all default and everything. The mod just changes some of the flight instruments and the panels. It added that salty menu entry on the MCDU so that we could import a flight plan from SimBrief and didn't have to manually type it in. That kind of stuff.
Oh, I see.
I want to re-engage VNav because we're getting closer now, and I think the system can probably just figure this out itself now. Because at this point, 340 is actually is too fast. Because it's indicated airspeed, but at this point we're well up into the Mach speeds, and you can tell that we're flying at Mach 0.9 right now, which is actually faster. We should be at 0.886. So in the PFD, you'll see at the bottom in white, the 0.900, that's our real speed. And the magenta 0.886 at the top, that's the intended speed, like that's what VNAV wants us to fly at. So it's going to adjust, which is good. It will slow us down. It will make us climb. We're going through flight level 360 now, so we're getting there. Everything's looking good, actually.
Going great.
Yeah. Usually the climb out and cruise, that's the easy part. The descent and... Actually, the descent should be nice and easy, too. I'm pretty comfortable these days with the various different ways of descending. VNAV is the nicest and easiest. It doesn't always work, though. Worst case, the one thing I do like is because we have that green altitude indicator, the banana, in the navigation display, we'll still be able to figure out where we're going to be at what altitude.
It is pretty cool.
Hmm.
It's handy.
It is, because that's honestly like the biggest thing is like, how do I know? How do you predict? Like, I got to drop like 30,000 feet. When do I start doing that? Okay, so now we are in speed. It looks like it's pulling back on the throttle a bit because we're about to level out. I feel like the autopilot in this is always a little bit overly aggressive. It's like we gotta slow down so it you know, if I were to make an analogy to driving, instead of just slowing down, it like slams on the brakes to slow down instead of just getting off the throttle for a bit. Some people drive like that.
Oh my.
That's flight level 390. And our speed is pretty much right on. 55 miles away from Lanat. What does this say? 55 minutes to our destination, according to ForeFlight. 5 minutes to our next waypoint.
Oh yeah, it's not that long of a flight. It's a pretty comfortable flight too.
Yeah. And it means we get to relax for like a half hour here or so and just enjoy the views. And then we can start worrying about our arrival and our descent and all that good stuff. The real important stuff.
Yeah.
I get my racing cockpit tomorrow.
Wait, you got like the whole chair set up and stuff?
Well, it's for review. It's from a company that does it, and it's like it's built out of it. So it's not like metal pipes and like a bucket seat or anything. It's more like built out of MDF kind of thing. Easily assembled. We'll see. It's pretty low budget kind of solution, but it might be really effective. My biggest thing is I have to put it in the other room. Yeah, I think they sell it for like $250.
Oh, that's nice. So what are you gonna boot up iRacing or something?
No, I think by the timing it's gonna be F1 2021, which comes out in just over a week, 11 days.
Oh.
So by the time I get that all set up, hook up a monitor, I gotta put it in my other room because I don't have the space in here. So I've got a 23-meter DisplayPort cable coming on Tuesday, and a long USB cable, and I've just got a wireless headset, so I'm basically just going to run USB to a hub over there and the monitor cable, and I think that's all I really need.
Hey, hell yeah. I was thinking about getting a wheel so I could start doing ATS a bit more
Oh, you should.
after we move.
ATS has got multiplayer coming.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's already in
officially
beta.
supported.
Yep, Convoy, they call it. And it's apparently really good. Like, you have in-game voice chat. And it's got, you can synchronize the job, so like you can all drive the same job. And it has multiplayer, like AI traffic, that's all still there. The previous multiplayer mod, you could have like 100 truckers, but there would be no AI traffic, just cars and stuff, which kind of, honestly, if you're playing ATS or Euro Truck without traffic, what's the point?
I mean, yeah.
So
if you had 100 truckers within the same region, I could understand that. But if
Yeah.
you're spread out,
but it this syncs properly. Like, if somebody signals, you see it across. It works apparently really well. So I imagine that by the time you'll be all set up again this fall, if it's not out of beta at that point, we should try it out anyway. So definitely get yourself a wheel, man.
I've been wanting to. Because a couple of years ago, I was like watching a lot of ATS stuff, and I found a particular YouTube, and he happens to do GTA RP stuff too, as well as simulator games.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I don't know, have you heard of Jeff Fabiano?
No.
He's a cool YouTuber. He does a lot of simulator games and ATS and stuff. And
Oh, actually, I might have. Yes, I think I have. I think I've seen one of his ATS videos somehow.
he's legit. I like him a lot.
I think the thing that stuck out to me that his name wasn't some handle. It was literally like the guy's like
Nope.
full
It's
name.
It's just his name.
It reminded me of like my dad who used to sign his email with like his full name and address. Like, okay.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
No, but I really like him. He's he's a really level guy, and I'm a part of his GTA RP community.
Nice.
It's cool. I haven't seen him play much Flight Sim though. He does play Flight Sim and what was the other one? X-Plane, I think.
Oh,
Is that it?
yeah, that's the other big one.
I think so. Yeah, he did quite a few videos on that. He has one video on Elite Dangerous, and it made me happy, but I was like, no, he's probably never going to play that again.
We should play that at some point too, again, I guess. Sean, no, I will not be coming over to help you move. Sorry. I mean, I might if I lived closer. I can fly your furniture over in an airplane if you want, virtually. Pretend.
Yeah.
I don't know how helpful that will be. Switch range to, what is the max range? Oh, it's got 640 miles max range. We can actually get Japan on the display at max range. That's cool.
I see some wait, no, those are waypoints. I was like, are those other planes? No, those are waypoints.
Now, I think this does have... oh, I don't know if this one does have it or not, but if we were flying on VATSIM, for example, you could absolutely see other planes, but it's only within, like, short range.
Yeah.
And I'm always curious, so if I switch over to VATSIM... We actually could have done... Oh no, never mind, there's no ATC coverage, but probably it's middle of the night locally there. But there are some people flying out of that airport into Tokyo. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no shit.
1 person departing, 3 arriving.
So what wheel do you recommend? I was looking at Thrustmaster since all my other stuff is Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster's good. I don't really have a lot of experience. I mean, I have two wheels, right? I have my old Logitech G27. I use that for trucking because I've got the H shifter and the clutch pedal and stuff.
Oh.
For racing, I ended up buying a Fanatec or Fanatic CSL Elite bundle or something with just
okay.
pedals and the wheelbase. But you probably want something that you can use for like racing if you want to, and trucking. So you probably want like a nice, you know, Thrustmaster
Yeah, and I was
wheel.
thinking at the very least I could like get a just buy like a third-party wheel that looks more like a trucker wheel and just kind of swap them out depending on what I'm playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Thrustmaster's good. They're probably in the more in the price range anyway. It's like Fanatic doesn't really have anything good for like trucking, I don't think. I mean, they have like some GT wheels or whatever that I guess kind of would work for trucking, but
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I feel like just like a fairly standard wheel is probably best for trucking.
Find this other thing I was looking for. There's a particular button box for Truck Sim that I saw, and I really, really liked it. Because it had like the key and everything on it.
The one thing that I would highly recommend for trucking is that you get yourself a shifter, and so you have a clutch, because that to me makes it even more interesting and more fun.
Oh, the shifting?
Yeah. Like, because that's like a big part of trucking is, you know, managing the gears and stuff like that. Makes it more challenging. So I know Thrustmaster has got some gearboxes and stuff like that. I don't know if they have like a bundle or something. That's why I really liked the G27 originally when it came out, because it had like everything all in one, you know? It was perfect for that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, I mean, if you get,
think
I
it
would
was this
recommend that. If you have the option to get a clutch and a shifter for that, I think you should.
Okay. I guess there's no truck chat, so I'm just gonna throw it in Flight Sim chat.
I
was
should
looking at this
have a
button box.
truck chat.
Pretty cool button box. And you can swap out the plate and everything.
Sean just sent me this. I should really share this with you. Can I just share a message? Probably not.
Copy and paste it.
Yeah, but it was a private message. Can I paste a private message into another private message? I imagine not. Like, I can paste a link, but you're not going to have access to it. I'll just copy this image. Does that work? Yeah. His message along with that picture was, when Colin shows up dressed like this, you know it's going to be a long day.
Damn. Hey, that's. You know what? I would show up like that. Except I wouldn't be wearing the Hawaiian shorts. I'd be wearing cargo shorts with the Hawaiian shirt.
We actually made our turn here around. I guess we're on our way to. Yeah, YME. Cool. Evol game. Evol PC gaming. Yeah, weather's pretty poor. Fortunately, we're above it. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Oh yeah, I have seen that with the CB radio.
I don't know if I'd use the CB radio, but...
I mean, you'd have to, though. Like, you would have to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Right, that's not as
Come up with a
expensive as I
call
would have
sign.
fear, actually. The price isn't too bad.
No, it's not
Oh,
too
it's
bad,
because the shipping, yeah,
considering-
they custom build it, so it's like a 2 months delivery. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I think that's the one. Because, like, he like, showcased it on one
Yeah,
of his
on one of his
videos, and
images,
was, like,
it
really,
mentions
really cool.
Jeff Fabignano. as there's one of the images is just a bunch of logos, and one of them is his. So I assume that's because
Oh,
he
okay, so this is
promoted
definitely the one then. Yeah, I think it's cool as hell. He's one of my favorite streamers. If I'm not doing anything in the house and I need white noise, I usually just put on a playlist of one of his things.
Well, while we're here,
Rachel
let
comes
me.
home and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm watching him fly a plane." I'm like, "That's boring." I was like, "You don't understand. you just wouldn't get it. You just wouldn't get it."
Here, I made a trucking channel.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, whenever she came down when you were getting your coffee and she was looking at the screen, she goes, "You guys haven't even left yet?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, and she's like, "Is this in real time?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So you're gonna fly to Japan the whole 2 hours?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she just looked at me. She's like, "I love you so much." She just walked away.
I mean, it's not that long of a. The nice thing about this is that the actual time where we just sit here and do nothing is only about half an hour, because pretty soon we'll have to start planning the descent and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into these airplanes on the ground before they even take off. Just setting them all up, getting everything programmed in. Not to mention that typically one thing we didn't even play around with is like actually opening, loading cargo and stuff like that, right?
Oh, that's my bread and butter right there. I'll do weight and balance and all of that. That is my jam.
There's a cool add-on for this game that I've been tempted to. One of these days, I think I'll get it. It lets you actually deal with like passenger satisfaction and stuff. So depending on how well your flight goes, there can be emergencies, like a woman is giving birth aboard the airplane. So, like, what do you want to do,
Well,
Captain?
We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
It's just gonna have to push.
Or hold it. I don't know how viable that is, but
Put it back in. Put it back in.
But this is not that long of a flight. 668 nautical miles total. It's not too bad.
Isn't too bad at all. I think at the very least, if there was an emergency of that sort, I think Osaka has an international airport, which is on the
I'm
opposite side
sure
of the
that
country that we're closest to.
our nearest airport is Miho. Runway. What's the longest runway here?
Yeah,
8,000 feet. That's probably a bit short.
Yeah, the primary.
short.
Yeah, well, okay, so there's that one. Yeah, Osaka, primary regional airport for the Kansai region of Japan. Major cities: Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, we would be able to find an airport to. That's the other thing, though. Like, the sim struggles the most when you make changes to flight plans in flight. That's where especially the stock autopilot is very bad at that. A lot of times it just messes up your legs completely, or it starts sending you back to a previous waypoint for no reason. Like, you could change something like 8 waypoints out, and it's like, cool, let me just go back and we'll start over there again.
So we're going back to Incheon, right? We're gonna do this all
right,
over.
yeah, exactly. So that's, it's not good at that. Just want to have a look, because we have a really short arrival. And we have no chart for this arrival, which is super annoying. But we have, I'm just trying to do some minimum altitude. Okay, so 6,000. That was 23 nautical miles, and how much is this like? I don't know why there is no. That's probably 50, but less than 50 miles total. At our approach point, at Alley, we got to be to 1,500, 2,000 at Avion.
I might ask them that. The community I'm a part of, that his little community, they got an ATS sub community within. I might ask and see if they'll add like a flight sim thing to it. Because right now they just have general game. It's just a gaming lobby.
Yeah.
Outside of the RP lobby.
So I
Yeah,
think
they
when
have
we
the-
get to
all that.
KCC, that's when we'll start descending. I think that will be the plan. Since we are just kind of cruising around, I do want to go and see if I can configure our arrival here. So I'm going to go to the arrivals page. We are going to be landing on runway 34 left. ILS 34 left, and that is the X-ray. XAN star with the Kaiho transition, and the autopilot's doing weird shit, and I don't like it. Actually, it's okay. I don't know what is it doing. See, this is what I mean. Weird shit has just happened. We're turning. There's no reason we should turn. All I did was load an arrival. But I think it might actually just be unfucking itself here now. It likes to fuck itself and then unfucks itself. Because it does say we're going to Okagi, which is fine. It's actually skipping a waypoint. But I don't know why we're headed in this direction. Like, that's not the actual course. We should be headed further left. Like, it's off course right now. I don't know. Sometimes it helps to turn LNAV. Off and back on. No. Can we do a direct? Just don't know where it's trying to go. Like, we're not on course for that leg. Can I do this? Nope.
Maybe we should see what it's trying to do.
It's completely lost a bunch of legs now. What's going on there? Why is that all yellow? Oh, right.
Oh, we're turning. We're turning.
Yeah, but where and why is the route yellow?
I don't know, but
Usually.
I'm gonna turn on the seatbelt sign.
Oh, okay. Seatbelt sign. All right. Oh boy.
We're performing aerial maneuvers. We have bogeys in the AO.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna ignore that. It does seem like it is headed.
Itself.
Yeah. Don't know why that line is yellow, but we have the approach and the arrival loaded in, so we'll just see. It's all still on here. It might still follow it. It doesn't seem to quite match up with what's on the legs page. The legs page is showing me things that are way further down the line.
So will the autopilot like put us into landing approach naturally, or are we gonna have to?
No, it
manually
should.
do it?
It varies depending on the aircraft. At the very least, it is going to take us all the way to the airport at this with the GPS mode that we're in now with LNAV.
Okay.
VNAV path. We need to descend ourselves. We want to capture the localizer when we get close, so that we can get a glide slope. So that we can get a nice, even glide slope into that. It thinks that we need to be at 4,000 at Kaiho, which looks correct. That's the initial approach fix at 4,000. So like it has all the right info on the legs page. It just has lost a bunch of the legs. It's lost an entire page for some reason, the page prior to the one that it's showing. Now it's still showing on the actual ND. But it's in yellow, which usually means that it's like a planned thing. So I think something just got a little bit screwy there. But it doesn't really change anything for us. So we're going to keep flying until we get to KCC. And then we're going to descend down to 6,000. We want to be at 6,000 feet by the time we hit X-Ray Alpha Charlie. And then from there we can slowly go down to 4,000 for our initial approach fix, and then we'll deal from there. So as long as we get ourselves down and slowed at the right moments, we can do pretty much anything, right? The biggest fear is not getting down in time or being too fast. Those are always bad.
Well, we leveled out, so...
Yeah. One more run to the bathroom, folks.
Better go now! Before I change my mind.
Have you seen my
crazy.
my checklist? I actually print little checklists and then laminate them.
You got a whole little nice thing?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Is that a legitimate checklist?
No, it's based off of part in the game, part of what some other people did, and then I usually go through and actually add stuff that I need to remember. So it's got some FMC setup stuff on here that wouldn't be part of the actual checklist, probably.
Oh.
But it's like, these are the things that, you know, this is what I need to do to get everything working, which is why I don't look at the ones in game, because they might have other things or in a different order or whatever. Like, this works for me.
I kind of wish Elite Dangerous could be a bit as in-depth as Flight Sim was in terms of like checking. Like, yeah, there's a pre-flight checklist thing that you can do, and I understand it's the future and a lot of shit's automated. There is. I usually do it whenever I first plug in my stick and everything to make sure everything's bound correctly.
Nice.
But
yeah.
I kind of wish there was a little bit more detail into it. Like, oh, flick this switch, make sure this is working, test this. One thing I would like is if I take a job, I would like to see the cargo being loaded onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's just wishful thinking. I mean, as much as I love Elite, it is a pretty casual game, and I love it for that. But I wish there was an option.
Yeah.
More. I play that game in the most boring way possible. I play it like I'm a super NPC.
A super NPC.
Yep, I NPC the hell out of that. Every time I buy a new ship, I fly it to Hutton Orbital. It's how I break them in. Doesn't matter if I can land there or not. I just got to make sure I get there.
Yeah.
Odyssey's pretty fun. It needs work, but I like
Yeah,
it.
I've heard varying degrees of. It seemed like it launched in a really bad state.
It wasn't great.
And it also, like, I feel like it added a bunch of things that are really sort of cool, but also, like, I just wanted to explore planets. I don't know if I necessarily wanted to go shoot other people in the face on them.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to shoot them in the face.
No. But
Honestly,
it edged a little
overall,
bit into
my
the...
gameplay loop hasn't changed.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, other than the fact that I can go to a planet now and I can just leave the ship and walk around.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Don't get me wrong.
I was a little worried that it became a little bit too much like Star Citizen, where it's trying to be like one game for everything in space. But
I mean, a little bit, not too much. I mean, the shooting mechanics, I mean, for what the game is, the whole first-person shooter aspect of it, I mean, it's not remarkable, but it's not bad. It's adequate. Like, but like, I think a lot of people that play that game need to like I'm assuming a lot of people realize this, but like first and foremost, the game is what it is before this update. All this is a tacked on experience that you can partake in, or you can just completely ignore.
Right. Approach speeds. Oh, they're already set. That's good. No. The speed brake lever is in a really shitty spot in this aircraft. Or maybe I just need to make a better.
I mean, you can move over to the other, the co-pilot seat and use that terminal.
It's true, actually. Yeah, but I need to make. It's just my safe camera angle. That's all. ILS frequencies. Where do I do that? Okay, it's already... Okay, it knows about the ILS frequency. This is good. So in the nav radio, it knows the ILS for 34 left is 111.70, which should mean that when we get within range of that, it should actually switch over and capture the ILS once we turn on, like, the localizer mode. So I'm really, at this point, I just did 2 steps of my descent checklist already to ensure that we've got V-speed set.
I thought you had this module on your desk.
What?
The whole...
This actual...
like,
no. I wish.
thought you had something like this.
I want to get one like that, and there is one, I think, super expensive. Because I'm sick of having to click buttons with a mouse, like keyboard-type buttons.
You know, at this rate, you might as well just buy a plane.
I also wouldn't know where to put it. No, they're still a lot more expensive.
I don't know. I've seen some people's flight sim setups, and they're more expensive than actual aircraft.
But yeah, I would love to get an FCU or MCDU unit or something like that. There is one on the market that's made specifically for the Airbus. But we'll see. Someday.
Airbus is your favorite, isn't it?
More or less.
Well, out of all the planes that you've flown in this game, which one would you say was your favorite?
Honestly, I think my favorite, as far as being a functional airplane, is the CJ4.
CJ4.
The A320 Neo, the fly-by-wire mod, is probably a close second because it's really good.
Oh, the little Gulfstream.
Yeah, because it has proper VNAV.
Yeah.
The Airbus doesn't have VNAV working yet, which means that I can't just. It's not just going to descend on its own.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, it's really good. I'm trying to fly the 787 more, which is kind of like the Airbus but bigger and more modern. And there's also a mod for that, which improves it a bit. It honestly, like, a lot of what determines a good airplane these days is how good somebody made it. And it's just like the A320 from Fly-by-Wire and the CJ4 from Working Title are just the most mature of the mods that have the biggest teams working behind them. This mod here, the Salty mod, is pretty good, but it's like a small team, so they don't get to do a lot of stuff. The 787 mod from Heavy Division is pretty good, but again, it's a smaller team. I think a lot of this is going to get a lot better once the standard flight stuff in the simulator is made better, because then a lot of these mods don't have to reinvent the wheel. They can just, like VNAV will just work in every plane that supports it, and then they can just focus on other things. So a lot of these are like, well, they're all a work in progress, but
You guys pulling Sean in the Destiny?
yeah, yep. He's on PS4, but we've been helping him out a bit and jumped on there once or twice.
Pretty soon that crossplay can be out.
Yep. I guess it's just going to be for strikes, though, to start. Like, there's like a cross-play strike playlist.
Yeah, they did that a couple weeks ago. It was
Well,
pretty
also
cool.
we're also sort of scrounging together PC parts. Like I have a couple parts. Rumpo is coming up for like an upgrade at some point, so we'll probably end up throwing together like a PC of parts. Because Destiny 2 doesn't actually require that powerful of a PC. It's pretty well optimized.
Oh yeah, you could run Destiny on a toaster.
Pretty much. So,
Thank you, Visceral Games.
are they the ones that did the port?
I think it was them. Visceral Games is Activision, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was them.
Oh, the other plane that I really like is the TBM 930. Like for flying like a smaller plane, it's really good.
TBM 930.
Yeah, it's a turboprop. Very nice, and again, if you upgrade the avionics with the working title Garmin 3000 mod, it's really good.
Oh, this is the plane that was in Jurassic Park that got
Oh, is it?
thrown out of the sky. Oh, I mean, it looks like it.
And then I also like a lot of there's a bunch of planes I haven't flown yet, but I like quite a few of them. I bought a payware plane. Well, I bought a couple. There's the CRJ 700, which is like a regional jet airliner kind of thing. That one's pretty good. I bought a small one, the Piper PA-28R, which is sort of like the TBM but a bit smaller. I like flying that one on like scenic tours around places. Like sometimes I do streams for Shack News where we just fly like some interesting scenery, like in Alaska or something. That's a nice sightseeing flight, you know, where you're flying at like 5,000, no autopilot. Like we follow a flight plan, but I just kind of hand fly it around, and that's really nice for that. And then I just started flying. I bought and started flying the DC-6, which is, you know, from like the 40s and 50s. Four engine.
Yeah. We load cargo on DC-6.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of experience.
Yeah, it's probably still a pneumatic cockpit. Is that the right terminology?
I guess it does
'Cause
have.
what we have right now. This is a glass cockpit.
Yes, the other one does have. It does have an aftermarket GPS in it, but it's just a little one. And it does have like what's called a gyro pilot. It's like a very early iteration of an autopilot that can do an altitude hold or a pitch hold, and it can follow a beam or a GPS signal. So, but it's very fun to fly.
I couldn't take my Garmin and just stick it to the window and call it good.
You could, but it wouldn't do anything with it. But it would still show you where you are. Like honestly, a lot of times GPS is just helpful to show you where you are. Even if you hand fly everything.
Situations like we are in now where you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Other than the horizon.
So. But yeah, that's a very different airplane because it obviously has like no auto throttle. If you want to slow down, you got to know how to do that and stuff like that. It's fun though.
Well, we're gonna do some weird stuff when we get into Japan. Looks like there's a weird loop.
I hope there's no loop, but there is like a bit of a back and forth. If you look on the stream on the map, we do like.
I'm looking at the monitor.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that looks way better.
That's what it should look like. We'll see what it looks like on the actual navigation display. It's just that I think if I zoom in now, we're not. Yeah, it's gonna just be off screen. So. But we are coming up on KCC. Let's see, this next leg is... it's 128 nautical miles. So we want to descend, so I'm going to do some quick math. We want to be at... I would like to be at 6,000 feet at Oshima, basically, the X-ray Alpha Charlie VOR. So that means we have to descend 33,000 feet. Rough calculation is 30 miles per 10,000, so that would take us about 90. So very roughly, I think we're gonna... Right now we're 126 miles from X-ray Alpha Charlie, so I think when that reads... let's say let's say 100. At 100, we'll start descending down. And we'll descend down to 10,000 initially. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I don't know how, because 10,000 being that way, we don't slow down too much. We'll just get ourselves down there. And then for our descent at 10,000, we just have to do landing lights, altimeter, and seatbelts. Then our approach, I will have you do the gear and the flaps again at some point, but I'll just tell you when.
Okay.
If everything goes well, the approach should be pretty easy. There's not a lot to do until we get just above the runway, but...
I like flying smart planes.
Yeah. Oh man, the other day I flew the autopilot, the Airbus, and it has auto land, and I used it to great success. Just land it all automatically. Yep. All I had to do was.
I wonder how many years do you think before, like, then maybe not passenger jets, but cargo jets will be fully automated?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know how much. I mean, in the simulator, lots of things go wrong that require a person still. I don't know how many of these things also go wrong in real life. Probably not as many.
Because obviously, I wouldn't feel too comfortable initially with a fully automated passenger line.
No, I think you'd always have somebody in here to take over in case.
Yeah.
But I mean, even now, for the most part, pilots just... I think you probably still need somebody to communicate all the time. That's the thing. You would have to have ATC somehow be remotely able to issue commands to aircraft, which seems inherently like a bad idea, because what if somebody else issues those commands?
True. You'd have to, like, basically set up an entire separate airfield specifically for AI.
But I mean, you've got drones, right? Drones are aircraft, basically, that are remote controlled by the military. It's not all that different. All right, so we just, we're through 100 nautical miles now, so I'm going to go set the altitude to, let's go down to 10,000. And, oh, it looks like VNAV has already taken us down.
There,
So
passengers, we're beginning our descent.
Yeah.
Get to your seat. Get little Jimmy out of the can.
So based on that, it's going to put us at 10,000 just past that waypoint where I want to be at 6,000, but we'll see. Usually, I tend to descend very conservatively, as in like too early. What was that?
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but it went away. Autopilot is still engaged. Everything's still fine. Oh, that might have been...
I don't like hearing strange noises.
No, neither do I. Maybe that was a really brief overspeed.
Oh, probably.
It's the only thing I can think of. The PFD already has our reference speed at 182, so that's already set. The other thing we can do here, I can check minimums real quick for this airport. Or not for the airport, for our approach. Minimum's 218 feet. We've currently already got it set to 200, so that's pretty close.
I say next time we do this, we should fly the Airbus. I want to see this automated landing you
Sure.
spoke so highly of.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there an automated takeoff button?
In a way. No, I mean, you can't turn the autopilot on the ground, but it does everything. Like, it does all the thrust management and all that stuff for you, right?
That's pretty cool.
So minimums are set to 220. It should be set on the barrow. Damn it. There we go. So we're not descending nearly as fast as I thought we would be. It bounces around a lot, the green banana. We'll see, though. Like I said, usually it... So now I'm going to go more aggressive, and I will say, I'll put in 6,000. Let's see if that makes us descend any faster. I mean, honestly, we don't need to be right at 6,000 at that next VOR, but we'll see how we do here. So we've descended only 6,000 feet in like 20 nautical miles, so that's about on profile. Still can't see any land, just clouds and clouds and clouds.
Nothing but clouds.
That's what I like to see. Right there, I want the banana to stay. It keeps moving. I think it's because the air is a little bit bouncy here. Like our vertical speed keeps changing from like, seems like it's targeting around 1,700 or 2,000, but it keeps moving back and forth. I don't know why these distances down here have such great distances. Oh, it does have some weird loop on here, doesn't it? Oh boy. It does have some sort of weird loop, unless that is, unless it's showing the go-around route, which could be that. I don't know. How confident are you that I can land this by hand if need be?
I'm very confident in your ability. Should we go down in a blaze of glory, I will be right here.
Haven't had that happen yet. I've had some concerning landing. I've had some landings where the passengers probably would have died.
Just smack the ground.
Yeah. I'll deploy a little bit of ground spoilers, because I do speed brakes rather, because I want to slow us down a bit to descend a bit faster.
Seatbelt signs on. That'll be alright.
Oh, it really wants that speed though. Okay, maybe I can just as long as we're at 4,000 by Kaiho, that will be fine. And I don't know what that weird loop-de-loop soup bullshit is on the page. Yeah.
We're entirely grayed out.
What is grayed out? Oh, yeah. I haven't looked outside the window in a minute. heads down on the display trying to figure out what kind of nightmare this thing is going to make us fly.
So what do you want to do when we get to Tokyo? I know a couple places we could go.
Ironically, I have some leftover Japanese chicken in the fridge downstairs, so probably lunch first,
Forget
to be
about
honest.
that. We're gonna go get it fresh, my
Yeah.
friend. We're gonna get it fresh.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Any boroughs in particular in Tokyo you want to go see?
Never been. I don't know very much about Tokyo, so you'll have to be the tour guide.
Oh, I can show you some stuff. Depends on your interests. I mean, if you like anime, I can take you to the right places. If you like history and culture, I can take you to the right places.
So we clearly should have descended sooner. Just turn some engine anti-ice on because we're going to go through some clouds here.
God, I got 8,800 chalk points. What do I need to spend these on?
I don't know. You can pick a flight destination, but no, I don't actually know what those are for. I haven't really thought of anything.
Choose an emo. I can send a message, modify a single emo, highlight my message, unlock a random sub emote, I guess. Are you still affiliated?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very nice, very nice. Oh yeah, we need to update your stuff on the stream for the Dragon Seers.
What do you mean?
We got Brundavere on there.
Oh,
too.
yeah, the description of, like, the characters. Yeah, it's old. Are you on there, at least?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Okay, good.
I just gotta probably add that I'm a cleric too.
Okay, so
Yep,
we are
several
about...
grasslands.
We're like 15,000 feet higher than I want it to be. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to enable speed intervention, and I want to slow down.
We are going way slower than what it wants us at.
Well, it's I guess we could switch to vertical speed for the
Oh,
descent.
is that lightning?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I hear it.
It's time to descend a bit faster here. We gotta get down.
Are aircraft lightning proof?
They do get hit with it.
What happens when an aircraft gets hit by
I
lightning?
do not know.
Google, teach me things.
Sync rate. Yes, that's the overspeed.
That is a horrible sound.
Yeah, I don't know why it. I mean, I know why it's going faster, but
I don't like that noise at all.
it has done some horrible things to us here.
Okay. That feels better.
Hasn't really helped with our problem, though. Our problem being that we are too high. And that, but it should start helping us slow down here soon.
Wow. An aircraft, on estimate, the average lightning hits an aircraft once a year or once per every 1,000 hours of flight time.
Once per 1,000 hours of flight time, hey? That's a fair bit. Okay, I think we're in a much better descent now. We're starting to slow down. We're gonna have landing lights here in a moment. You can put the seatbelt signs on if you haven't yet.
Yeah, those are on.
Okay. Probably
Landing
some.
lights.
Once we cross over 10,000, below 10,000 is when we want the landing lights.
All right.
Yeah, what has it done there? I don't know what it's done there. It's going to be interesting. There's a chance we might have to hand fly the approach if the thing is as wonky as it looks like there. We can turn the weather off. We can turn terrain radar on just in case.
Are you hand flying this right now, or is it doing it for us?
No, we're still on autopilot.
Okay.
It's all good right now. We're slowing down. We're descending.
Rapidly.
Yeah, but not so rapidly that it yells at us. All right, we can have landing lights on. Set the local altimeter. There we go. We're actually below 10,000 already. That should mean it should slow us down to 250 now, or we should be slowing down to 250. Maybe I'll do that myself.
Okay, landing lights are on. Those are the runway lights, right?
No, the ones to the left, the yellow ones, the big ones.
Oh, okay.
Those 4 switches there.
Inbound, right?
Both. I think that's
Inbound and
inboard
outbound?
and out. I think that's outboard, not all 4 of them you want to turn on. I actually don't know what the difference is. That's a good point. We'll just turn them all on. Okay, now we're better.
And I don't need to turn on taxi until after we hit the ground, right?
That's right, yeah. Until we get off the runway. Landing lights on, altimeter is set, passenger signs are set. You give me flaps 1, please.
Flaps 1. Okay.
Go. It's interesting how early we start deploying flaps on this airplane. Oh God, what is it even on? It's completely, what is it showing us? Oh, I'm on VOR mode. Okay, that's why. All right, this is a little bit less scary. Okay, good. I was on the wrong map mode. I was like, I mean, it still has this fucked up loop in there, and I don't know why it has that, so it's just a bit bizarre.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. This is like the thing that keeps, this thing just breaks. I'm going to go slow us down to 240 now. Umuki is the next waypoint, which is that... Yeah, okay, Umuki and then our initial approach fix. Getting down, so we are making a right turn from Kaiho. I mean, it looks right on the legs page. It's just that the ND doesn't quite seem to reflect what's on the legs page, and I do not know which one to trust. So that's always the biggest issue when things don't seem to line up, you know. The good thing is the auto thrust seems to be playing nicely with our speed, so I'm going to slow us down some more.
Lightning.
Go to 230. Right through these fucking clouds, man. So now the stuff you see on the ND, that's terrain. So that big red thing on the left, yeah, that's
Wow.
mountain.
I think it's Mount Fuji.
Yeah, it is. I don't think we're going to be able to see it because it seems like we got some pretty low clouds here today.
I wonder if they moved Godzilla into Tokyo Bay.
Is that a thing?
They put a Godzilla in San Francisco Bay,
Oh,
but then
Interesting.
since then there's been the Japan update, so I wonder if they moved him.
disarm the speed brakes again because we're now down at speed. We'll let the system manage it.
Flap's still at 1.
Yep, that's still good. What are they? It was 510. Okay. Yep. No, that's still good.
Oh yeah, I see that lightning shooting across.
We're actually looking pretty good. If it wasn't for this weird squiggly goop of yellow shit on the ND, I would be much more comfortable about pulling off this landing. But I am happy about our speed. Like, that's honestly always a big thing, is that we've slowed down nicely. We're at an altitude that I'm happy with right now. I just have to be... one thing I have to keep doing now is I'm going to make sure that I keep our heading synced, because if the autopilot starts doing something weird, I'm immediately going to switch over to heading hold mode and control the aircraft that way, instead of letting it follow these weird lines if they are indeed, you know, screwed up.
Got it.
As soon as we clear this, actually we have cleared this. Let's see, can I localizer approach mode on? So localizer and glide slope are armed. That's good. So we're in the mode that we want to be in. So in 5 miles, I would expect us to make a right turn towards Avion. And at Avion, we want to hit down to 2,000. Is it 2,000 or 1,500? 2,000 at Avion, and we need to intercept the... Actually, yeah, and we need to intercept the glide slope at Azure at 1,500. But at Alley, we want to be 1,500 already, so those are pretty close together. So basically, we're going to try to descend to 1,500 feet after this, as soon as we make our next turn.
I see our purple line. Our purple line is overlapped by that yellow line.
You see a purple line? Oh yeah, there's a... Yeah, so...
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, you're right. So that's the thing. The yellow line is supposed to be the one, like the working line. Until you execute, then it becomes the active purple line. But I feel like...
the purple line is there.
It does. And let's hope it does. Let's hope it is. Let's
is-
hope that the
no,
yellow
it
stuff
is
is just a
there.
weird overlay thing.
But based on what I'm seeing, the purple line is that yellow line adjacent to
Yeah.
our right.
Yeah.
So
And that
we're
is
kind of-
the case. And it's... Oh, but it now says RJTT for our next waypoint.
That's it, I think.
No, that's RJTT is the airport. See, it's not making our turn. Okay. Is it this button? Heading mode. So we're doing this ourselves now.
Right.
And we want to go down to 1,500 now. And I'm going to slow down some more. I'm going to try to switch the approach mode back on to capture the localizer when we can here, but I think it was putting us on the wrong course.
I see.
Flaps 5, please.
Flaps 5.
Just try this again real quick and see what happens. Nope. want to overfly this waypoint just a little bit and then line us up with Alley, because we are still too high. Might have to do like a little loop to the right here.
2500.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Is that you turning us?
Yes. When we just blew right through our altitude.
Chalk.
Yeah, I see. It completely... Wind tower. That's not very helpful. I don't know what it did. It went right through the altitude. I set it to 1500 and it just went right underneath it. Okay, screw it. Give me flaps 20.
Flaps 20. Flaps 20. Good.
Okay, and I'm going to try to get us back online here. Gear down, please.
Gear down.
Auto brake to max. That's that knob at the next to the gear there, the one that you turned to RTO initially.
Auto brake to max.
Yes.
Max auto. Got it.
I don't think this is the right runway.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, it is now. Actually, no, that is the right runway. We are just high. That's okay. We'll get down there.
Passengers, brace for impact.
We'll get down there.
500. 400. 300. 2 minimums. 100.
We're a little high. We should be okay. I think it's long enough.
20.
Yeah, we're fucked here. We're not gonna make it.
10.
Brakes! Pull the parking brake!
This is full reverse.
Nailed it!
We're good. We're good.
Tokyo drifting!
We're good. Taxi lights, please.
You got it, Chip!
I've had worse.
First try.
Yeah. But again, this kind of shit happens when the autopilot just goes fucking weird. I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know what caused it to go. Well, it went through. First of all, I know what happened with the. Somehow the approach never got loaded properly or whatever. So that's weird. But more stranger than that was the fact that I was happy to just fly it, you know, with the regular headings. But I had an altitude set to 1500, and it just blew right through that. It never leveled us out.
Any of that.
That's weird. And that's really what the problem. That's where it all
You
started.
meant sea level, right?
Yeah, that's really where the problem started.
Where's our gate?
Oh, I don't know. We're just gonna take any one of them. I feel like when you come in like that, you can pick and choose your gate. Probably don't even go to a
that's-
gate. You
that's
probably
written
just
in the rules, right?
stop in the grass, and
That's written in the rule. You deploy the slides.
yeah. Actually, there is a gate over there. We'll go park next to that one, and we'll actually see if we can get the like a. Do they have? I mean, I see ladders. I don't know if they have actual gangways. Oh yeah, no, I do see one straight ahead. That's the one we're gonna go take.
Perfect. What are those 737s to the right? Is that 737?
I just see
Green and
Airbuses, but you
Oh,
might see
that might
different
be an
planes on the
Airbus.
ground than I do. That's entirely possible.
Van, you better go, bud. You better go. Oh, this van is about to get toasted.
I don't see him on my screen. I don't have a van here.
That van, he like went and he stopped. He like braked in the middle and then he started going again. I was like, you better fucking roll, bud.
Was our auto brake actually on?
I turned it on max.
Okay, because it's on disarm
It's
now. I
off
wonder if
now.
it goes to. I wonder if it goes to disarm automatically afterwards, which it might. I don't know.
There we go. There's a gangway.
I see the one that beside it here that's open, so I'm gonna pick that.
Oh. But yeah, the one that was in front of us was open on my screen.
Okay. That's nice scenery.
Oh yeah, and it's a beautiful airport. Very easy to navigate. One of the easier airports I've had to navigate.
Hmm.
Madrid, on the other hand, nightmare.
Okay, park and brake, please.
Parking brake set.
Okay, let me see if I can get some gates and stuff in here.
You mean turn off taxi light?
Yeah, you can turn all the lights off. Beacon and all that too. The gangway's coming out. Open all of our doors. Requesting all the things.
Everything. Just give it to us.
Doesn't look like it quite hit the doors in the right spot there.
I don't even see the gang.
Oh, on my screen, it's the doors open. people have to jump a good. No,
Yeah, you'd be alright.
15
Just tuck and
feet. It's
roll.
just a bit of a jump.
Tuck and
It's
roll.
not so bad. After what you just
Welcome to
got through.
Tokyo. We realize you didn't have a choice in airlines, but we thank you for taking it with us.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I should probably. Oh, you already turned it off. Never mind.
Let's see. What else do we need to shut off here? I think at this point we can really just. Those are off. That's off. My gear's already down. Fuel pumps. And just cut the engines.
Nailed it.
There we go.
Yeah, hour and a half.
You know, aside from that that snafu on the landing, that's not bad. But I blame that on the simulator. Like that's a game thing. We wanted to do the right things. It's just that at some point the FMS got all screwed up.
Go ahead, turn off the battery.
Well, we can switch on external power at this point, so that we still have air conditioning and stuff while people deplane.
What about keep the battery on?
Yeah. But yeah, I really don't. I don't know what happened to the to this route thing. It's just very strange. It got completely screwed up. Everything looks fine on there, but something didn't activate or shouldn't have or something. I want to see if I can. I just want to see if I can fix this. And like, would there have been something that we could have done? Oh, okay. Interesting. If I selected the star again... It's still yellow. The line is still yellow. Like, that's still just wrong.
That's weird.
Because it should only be yellow when it's currently being planned. Like, if I change to the star, maybe to a different one. Activate, execute. Yeah, it's something's broken with that.
That's weird.
Yep.
The purple line's back.
Yeah. It's also not letting me. It's not letting me select. Like, okay, weird. Okay, now we're on a new screen. We wanted that ILS. And we wanted this arrival. I'll tell you what, though. Next time we can do the Airbus. The Airbus works a lot better. Like the FMS. I really just wanted to try this plane. It was fun to fly.
Oh yeah, I love this plane.
But the Airbus, I think we should do that next time. Well, I guess it's going to be a while. Who knows where things are going to be at in September. But I like doing this as a shared cockpit thing. Like, I have fun with this.
I love this. I like being a co-pilot. I will be better, I promise.
I don't think you were at fault on this one. In any sort of sense of the way. Get a screenshot at the gate here. Anyway, that's all good. So I think at this point, I will say bye on the stream. Turn the stream off.
Bye-bye.